The Look Alive podcast is sponsored by Sonic.
This is the Look Alive podcast. I am Alex Glaze, still not quite ready to be back in the 11 Alive studio, so we're back in my apartment in Buckhead, but the state of Georgia, I think it's safe to say the state of Georgia for the most part is open, right? At least you have the option to be open. Businesses do have that option to operate. It's not business as usual. There are new guidelines that the governor's put in place to still help, try to help battle the coronavirus and continue social distancing while also offering businesses to get business. So I think that they're trying to find some kind of middle ground for whatever that's worth. But I think the interesting aspect of this when you're looking from the sports side is gyms are open now in this state. And what does that mean? Well, it means that I think we're going to have athletes coming to this state to work out because other states aren't open the way Georgia is right now. And I think it's safe to say from at least the guys that I've spoken to, players want to play. Players want to get back out there as quickly as possible. And you're not going to just be able to throw guys out there. There's going to be a period where you're going to have to get reacclimated because, you can't just go from months of, not having access to the facilities, the training regimen and diet stuff that you're used to, and just go out there and just expect that your body's going to work that way. And there's a whole injury aspect to it. It just doesn't work that way. There's going to have to be some kind of period where you're building back up to that. So I think guys want to build back up to that as quickly as possible and make sure that their body is getting treated right. So the NBA, I believe, is looking now at the end of the week, this week, to allow facilities in states that are easing social distance requirements. They're allowing teams to open up their facilities. Now, Travis Schlenk told ESPN last week that the Hawks were not going to open up their facilities to players. They were going to wait and see what Georgia looks like in a couple of weeks before they make a decision. It's worth noting that just because the Hawks are opening up their facilities to players, or other NBA teams, the Hawks are not opening their facilities, but just because other NBA teams are maybe choosing to open up their facilities to their players, it's only for their players. It's not like a player from a different team can go to another state to work out at another team's facility. That doesn't work that way. It's only for that specific team. But that being said, there are plenty of gyms that guys can go to that aren't necessarily the team facility in states like Georgia around here if they wanted to get a workout in. So I think we're going to see a lot of guys coming to Georgia and other states that are open in this way to get their work in. But it's really putting, and I'm talking mostly about professional athletes right there, but I want to switch gears and talk a little college athletics here, because I spoke with Georgia Tech head coach Geoff Collins a couple of days ago, and we had a really interesting conversation about him seeing a couple guys that he coached get drafted. That was pretty cool for him. But the really interesting part of our conversation I found was talking about what this reopening process looks like and what he's doing as a college coach when he has athletes in this state and around the country pretty much going by different rules. What is Tech doing to handle that? Because he wants to keep his guys in shape, but they can't make their guys work out. They can't make them do anything right now. It sounds like they can only give them the tools and kind of let them do with those tools what they may. So I want to get to our conversation with Geoff Collins, really good guy, and he, just like the rest of us, are kind of waiting to see what happens and trying to abide by the CDC's rules and regulations the best we can. So I'm going to send it over now to my conversation earlier in the week with Geoff Collins.
Here with Geoff Collins. Geoff, we're all still in quarantine a little bit. So how you holding up?
Doing good. Spend a lot of time with the family and trying to figure out every day, getting better at managing the entire organization. We got 120 plus players out there and a coaching staff of roughly 50. So just engaging and motivating and setting the direction and the plan every single day. We seem to get better at it as we go.
Honestly, it's been kind of rough for me. I'm a gym goer. Obviously, gyms are open now, but they've been closed. But I've been following along with some of your strength and conditioning guys and doing the Iron Jacket stuff. That's some pretty good workouts in there. You've been doing any of that stuff?
Absolutely. Now I'm getting a little older, so we modify a couple of them for me. But I think one of the cool things about our organization is we've got a young, energetic coaching staff. And so they try to get up early, do the workouts themselves, some variants of it, and get engaged with our guys. We're not allowed to make anything mandatory right now, but just to see our guys seeing us doing the workouts or some form of it, getting up early, being engaged with them so they know that they're not alone in this. We're completely in it with them all the way through.
My mom is a teacher, and she's adjusting to this virtual learning world, and she's not big on technology. She's probably going to get mad at me for bringing her into this, but she's not really a big fan of it. She's getting frustrated. She actually just bought a whiteboard so she can kind of go back to square one and kind of do it that way instead of having to learn how to draw on Zoom and stuff like that. How are you adjusting to the virtual learning world? Because you guys are still meeting. You're doing like a virtual. But how are you adjusting to that? Because it's very different.
I think it's been pretty seamless for us, obviously being at one of the top technological schools in America. It affords us certain advantages. We were already living in a place where we were on the cutting edge of technology to begin with. So us getting thrust into this virtual world has been fairly seamless transition for us. Obviously, we're well-versed in Zoom, but our guys have access. We give all of our guys iPads, so they have our complete film library at their disposal at all times, and our guys have meetings and all those things. For a while, it was 4 hours a week, but now that we transition out of exams, we're going to be allowed to have 8 hours of meeting a week with our guys, which is great. And we're trying to make sure we're having the right tone and the right amount to maintain attention spans, to keep our guys engaged, because you don't want to end up having 8 hours and then it turns into white noise. So we're constantly engaging and hitting them from every angle of their development, even though we're apart from each other. And then the other pieces, we got some other cool things. I don't want to give away too many of our secrets.
All right.
Been known to swag steal the things that we do. And so I'm trying to keep some of the things that we do on the down low as much as I can.
I got you. But with that being said, we're all adjusting to this and how to function in this way, working remote and things of that nature. Just How do you kind of see, the NCAA has so many rules. How do you see virtual learning moving forward? Do you see that being a part of what you guys do? Because I feel like there is in some ways, there's an advantage to kind of having everything right there. So you can.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that it's even done for me is, for 20 some odd years as a college football coach, the days of 3-hour staff meetings and staff meetings where probably 50% of the people that are in that room really don't even need to be involved in that meeting, but it's just.
And you're able to spend more time with your family when you're doing things virtually like that, right? Because you're not having to go into the office.
Yep. So we've streamlined everything. And I even mentioned on the staff meeting that we had this morning that even when we get back, get used to us doing this. So instead of us all filing into a room, 50 of us, just to talk about something that half of us have it doesn't even affect them in their day-to-day, is get ready for us to be doing Zoom meetings or whatever other phase we want to use. And let's just click on from our offices, talk about what we need to talk about, and then get off so we can engage with our players and then hopefully even spend more time with our families in the interim.
All right, before we move on from this, I'm going to ask you, you have a choice. You can either give me one of the cool things you're doing that you don't want to talk about, or you can throw some of your team under the bus. Who are the guys that are late to the Zoom meetings? Because I know there's at least nobody's late to the Zoom meeting.
No, absolutely not. So we have a thing. So and this started about 3 years ago, any coach or any staff member that's ever late for a staff meeting has to buy me lunch. So I can't fine them. I can't do anything. They have to buy me lunch. That's just kind of a deal. And they know right now that if they are late or anything, they've got to find a way to get Uber Eats to wherever I'm at. And that would be a huge hassle. So we've, I think people are on there 8-10 minutes early for every meeting. So yeah, we've had zero issues.
And also, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just kind of just turn on the iPad and press join. So there's really no excuse to be being late to this stuff. But the NFL draft just happened. A couple of your guys going in there. Let's start with Tyler Davis. I mean, you didn't spend a whole lot of time with him, but to see him, get drafted, just kind of what did that do for you?
Yes, and I've coached for a long time. I was in the SEC for 7 years, been in the ACC now for 5, and it's just I've got a ton of first-rounders, second-rounders on my resume, great guys that I love and I care about. But for whatever reason, when TD got drafted, I literally shed a tear. I wasn't expecting it, didn't know that was going to happen, but just I was overwhelmed with a sense of pride for him because I know his journey. I coached against him for 2 years. I was the head coach at Temple University. He was the best player on the roster at UConn. Then he chose to come to Georgia Tech with a whole bunch of other offers, but he wanted to come here specifically to help lay the foundation, change the culture for what this place is going to be moving forward. And he did that. And then on top was the first tight end drafted in the last 28 years of Georgia Tech. That's pretty cool, man. And the way he did it, the way he selflessly came to work every single day, was a great teammate, was a great leader. He was a consummate culture builder. And just I was overwhelmed with emotion, when he got picked. There hadn't been an NFL draft pick at Georgia Tech in 4 years. And moving forward, that's just going to be, the norm of us having, the NFL draft being just populated with Georgia Tech players. But for him to start the thing off for us was a big part of our culture because all the players on our roster saw how he did it. And he did it the right way. He followed our process, and it paid off. They all know the success we had the last 2 years at Temple University. It's the largest Power 5 NFL presence in the last 3 years. If Temple University was an ACC football program, it would rank 3rd or 4th in NFL draft picks over the last 3 years. So we take a lot of pride in that. And now we're at Georgia Tech establishing the program and the culture. So you're about to see a lot of Georgia Tech names being, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday of the NFL draft. Get used to the white and gold being proudly represented.
What is that change though? Because like you said, it's been a while, and I think I saw you on Twitter. You're saying get used to it. There's going to be more coming.
Yep.
What is that? Why haven't there been guys, and now why are there going to be this? You're promising more guys. What's the difference?
Yes, and the past is the past, and the nature of the offense and defense that was played here for 11 years. It is what it is. It was successful. But we run an NFL-style offense, NFL-style defense. We recruit to that end, the size, the speed, the height, all of those things that are prerequisites in our recruiting philosophy may not have been here in years past. And that's no offense to anybody, but it's just a different mold. And we recruit to that end. Even though we're one of the top 4 academic schools in America, we're going to recruit Sunday players. We just signed one of the top 2 recruiting classes in Georgia Tech history. This is going to be a destination spot for elite high school talent that wants to come and get the best of both worlds, play in downtown Atlanta, go to an elite academic school, win a ton of games, and be prepared to play on Sundays because that's what we've done everywhere that I've been, and that's just going to be a staple of our program moving forward.
All right, I got to bring this up before we go on to your next player because I just noticed. You shaved the stash. What happened with the stash? Because I got bored and I tried to do a little stash thing.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Someone said I look like a 40-year-old Trey Young, and I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. But what happened to the stash?
Yeah, once the wife says she's, it went past annoyance, which she was slightly annoyed for a little bit, to outright, you're not getting any kisses and really not going to get any hugs.
No, yeah, she's
that'll end that really quick. You got to go.
Let's talk about Matt Hennessy.
Yeah.
First of all, it's going to be a very popular jersey here in Atlanta. When you saw that Matt's going to be coming to this city, what is your first thought? How do you think he's going to fit in with what the Falcons do?
Yeah, I mean, I was so fired up, man. He is everything to me. And you'll learn this, the more you're around us. The wearing a single digit in our program and in our culture is a huge deal. Tyler Davis with the Jaguars wore jersey number 9. He earned that because he's a great leader, great teammate, one of the toughest humans in the organization. We had 2 linebackers drafted this year, Sean Bradley, Chappelle Russell. Both were single digits. And then Matt Hennessy, even though he wears number is an offensive lineman and can't wear a single digit in the games, he would rock that number 3 at 6'5", 300 every day at practice. And
that's a big number 3.
Yeah, man, it looked really good. And he's tough. He's physical. He's a great kid. He's an unbelievably hard worker and character, the whole thing. And I was just so happy for him and everybody in our organization that was at Temple University and got to coach him. I think all of us immediately reached out to him the second he got picked. And he even said that the first people that he heard from after he got drafted were the whole Georgia Tech staff. And great relationships. We've got great relationships with Thomas Dimitrov and Dan Quinn, and us learning about their brotherhood philosophy and what it means to be a part of the Falcons organization is exactly what we did at Temple, is exactly what we do at Georgia Tech. We just call it being one of us. And Matt Hennessy from day one was one of us, how he's built, how he's wired. And, the Falcons are getting something really special beside just a cool last name.
The natural follow-up, are you a Hennessy drinker? That's the natural follow-up. So are you?
No, not. But I fully support Atlanta embracing this young man. Whatever attracts you to him, he is the real deal. And I was blessed. So last 2 summers ago, I was able to take 8 players to Tokyo. And we went to Tokyo, Japan, Osaka, Kyoto for 9 days. And Matt was one of the guys that we took with us. And it's one thing to see him in the building every day and work out and come to the building, focused on ball. But you get away in a foreign country, 14-hour flight away, and really get to know somebody. And he's one of my all-time favorites. Who he is as a young man, intelligent, compassionate, caring, all of those things. But then when you put the ball down, he got that dog about him, and he's got a nastiness to him that's really cool.
Awesome. What were you guys in Tokyo for?
We just did so in Japan, they're starting to have a NCAA football. They're trying to start that. And
sure.
There's a Temple University campus in Tokyo. So we went over there on a goodwill effort, and we did camps, we did clinics. We
awesome.
Some government functions to start that Japanese football, and it was a really cool deal.
Awesome. All right, Geoff, now we got to ask you the tough questions. Is we want sports back, man. We're dying over here. Hold on,
Sure.
are you watching The Last Dance like everyone else?
I am.
All right.
And I live text with our leadership committee and our coaching staff during it.
You guys have a group chat.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I love it. And just the mentality and just some of the things like when, they went, back-to-back years losing to the Pistons in the finals. And then the next day they were back in the weight room. That was our mindset. We inherited one of the smallest rosters in college football of size and length and all those things. It was actually the second smallest in the country. And we had to make that transition. We have to get bigger. And that's through recruiting, right? And we've done that. And the second part is just the development of our current roster. And we were well on our way, January, February, and the first part of March of making unbelievable gains. And now we're in that phase to continue it, even though we're apart. But that little piece right there, I was able to immediately send to our guys, hey, what Michael Jordan went through with the Pistons is exactly what we're going through as an organization, and stay motivated throughout it.
And you got younger guys on your staff too that maybe don't know. Like I'm 28, and I'm like I was very young when all this was going on, so I knew some of it, but just to see it is really cool. So you also have some of that going on in the group chat, like guys like, whoa, that's really cool, and you're like, yeah, that was. I mean,
right?
Yeah, I'm calling my dad. I call my dad after the fact, and he's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, Carmen Electra, that's crazy. I'm like, she looks better now. And he's like, yeah. Because clearly my mom's sitting right there. You can't really come. But
now I'm gonna age myself a little bit, but I still remember my sophomore year playing basketball at Rockdale County High School out in Conyers, and we got to wear Jordans was our team shoe. And you should have seen the smile on my face, man, when we got those Jordans fresh out of box and we got to rock them in the games. That was a cool moment. These guys don't know that, though.
So when you're doing all this stuff, though, there is still that yearning for live sports. We miss sports. As you can see by the numbers from the people that were watching the draft, the numbers of people that are watching this Jordan doc, like people just want sports. How do you see that playing out moving forward? Because, I mean, we see leagues are starting to kind of roll out plans. How do you see that working out in the fall for you guys?
Yeah, so I'm a planner, and I try to control what I can control. And until I'm told this is what we're doing and when we're doing it, all we have right now are contingency plans. And so we have contingency plans for date A to return, date B to return, date C to return, and we have all of these things ready. So, so whenever we get the green light, we're ready to go. But there's no point in worrying about it or complaining about it. We have to make plans, and we stay day to day in our organization. We have so much room that we've got to develop, that we've got to take every single day to develop ourselves at the highest level. And whenever they give us the green light, we've got a plan in place so we can hit the ground running and do that at a high level. But I'm with you. I love football. I love sports. And but the biggest thing is in this day and age is, listen and be responsible. Whatever the scientific, professionals, health professionals tell us, the health and safety of all of our employees, student athletes, obviously has to be paramount in any and all of these decisions. But I'm itching just like you, and I'm just, I have my plans ready. So when we get the green light, we're ready to roll.
It's like Mike Tyson said, you have a plan until you get punched in the face, it's just kind of like you kind of deal with it right now.
Sure.
But with all that being said, how do you manage that green light? Because like right now in Georgia, you can go to the gym and work out. If the past couple of months, guys haven't been able to work out and they've been working out in the field or doing whatever they can. Are you telling your guys they can go to the gym? Or are you letting them do whatever they want? Or are you telling them not to go to the gym? How are you guys dealing with that?
So and it's a great question. We have so many layers of guys on our team that are from different states, right? They don't have the similar access. We have some of our guys on the team have weight rooms in their basement. Some have dumbbells, some have whatever. So we have so many different layers of workouts that our guys are doing based on their access to equipment. The NCAA just let us send out those resistance bands. So guys that don't have any weights at all, we were able to send them resistance bands, and we've got workouts formulated for them to excel doing that. And, we our trainers and our medical staff constantly keep us updated on the latest CDC guidelines. We forward those to the guys and are constant contact with them to make sure they're safe and healthy throughout this whole ordeal, regardless of what their access is, to weights or to equipment.
So if we're just like right here in Georgia, are you letting guys make their own decisions when it comes to going to the gym?
Yeah, and there's some guys that have private gyms here locally, and we just keep feeding them the guidelines and the suggested protocol because at the end of the day, we want them to be safe, we want them to be healthy, and obviously when they go back to their houses, that everybody at their home is safe and healthy as well.
Awesome. So how do you see all this playing out? We see these plans for sports to come back. Do you see there being a season? Can you see football starting on time with the way things have been going over the past couple of months? Do you think it'd be safe for football?
That's not my call.
Okay.
It's got to keep the team motivated, keep the team engaged, keep our team developing at a very high level, and let the people that are the professionals and the experts dictate how we move forward. but I got to keep the guys ready to go where they are, at a high level and keeping them safe and healthy.
All right, there was a theory being floated around, maybe by me. I was under the impression that all these schools that are putting out, their strength guys, working out, or the nutrition people, all of a sudden, I thought that was like a subliminal way for you guys, like telling like, hey, this is your workout for the day. But is that the case or no?
What's that? As far as the workouts, no, we're allowed to send them workouts.
You don't have to, but you can't require them to do it. Say,
we can't require them to do it. So what we do, having a young and energetic coaching staff, our guys invariably get up early and attack some form of the workout. And, we post it to the group text and we keep the guys motivated. And we had a leadership meeting this morning and I try to beat everybody up and get going and, be the first one to send it to the coaches text or the strength staff group text that I've got going. And the other day, I'll be honest with you, and I told the guys this, I rolled over and I hit that snooze, right? I hit that snooze button. Like,
snooze.
I hit the snooze, and then probably within the next 5 minutes, I get a ding, look at my phone, and our head strength coach, Lou Caralla, had beaten me to the punch. He had already run 20 half-gassers, full sweat, thinking to you guys, good morning, and you want to talk about sprinting to get up out of that bed, and that was the last time I'll hit snooze while we're apart from each other right now. But that's just one thing, is just keeping each other motivated. You never know whose voice, whose influence might get you excited to go out and attack the day. And that's what we do for each other as a coaching staff. Our players hopefully are doing that with each other, just staying motivated, staying engaged. We're a relationship-based organization, and I think we've got an advantage over a lot of other organizations in college football that don't have the built-in relationships that are genuine, loving, caring, and have so many layers to them that we're able to excel in this environment, while some other programs might be struggling or might be trying to implement all of these things with technology and with relationships. Well, we've already got them, and it's been a seamless transition for us. And, obviously that's a testament to our coaching staff and a testament to the young men that we're blessed to coach.
Yeah, I mean, the mental health aspect of all this is so important, and I think that, like you're saying, that togetherness, that you can't fake that. I think that's really important.
And then just a little piece of that too. A lot of us are in this game for the relationship piece, and we're used to the high five, and we're used to the fist bump, and we're used to the hug, or maybe even an embrace. And right now, none of us are getting that. Obviously, when I had the mustache, I wasn't getting that. But as an aside, I told the staff early on, you got to think that we're all apart, but you do need that affirmation. And, every time somebody posts something on social media and you retweet it or you like it, that's like giving them a high five. You hop on a Zoom meeting with the guys, that's kind of like you're giving them a fist bump. We're all in this together. But you know what? Every now and then you need to pick up the phone and call them and let them know how much you love them and that you're there for them one-on-one. And that's like a hug. And then sometimes too, you got to pick up the FaceTime and look at them eye to eye and just, I'm here for you. I care about you as a person, as a young man. And I think those are the kind of things that we do that separates us from a lot of other programs across the country. And I'm just proud that I've got a group of guys that is willing to do that, understands the importance of the relationship piece, to be able to motivate and inspire our guys to develop in every single phase of their lives.
My mom's going to really like that message. She has tried to FaceTime my brother and I more times in the past 2 months than she has in all 28 years of my life.
Yeah.
Before that. But last one for you before I let you go. What's the first thing you're going to do when we're out of this thing? And you can just, let your hair down and just go. Where's the first place you're going to go? What's the first thing you're going to do?
Yeah, it's to the office. They let me know.
Oh, my gosh. Come on.
They let me know I can see my guys.
That's such a football guy.
My wife and my daughter, we've been together, and it's been unbelievable how much time we've gotten to spend together. And the cool things that as a college football coach you do not get to do, and to be able to do that with them during this time has been amazing. But just being around the guys, being around the fellas, you guys have seen us, how much we care about each other. I just miss seeing them and being able to be around them and motivate them and push them and, do work together.
All right, Geoff, really appreciate your time. You said you're going to email me a workout, right? You guys are going to send me the workout plan? Is that what you said?
I have no idea.
I was joking. But if you want to send me one, you got it. Because
I got you. I'll tell Mike Flynn. Now, are you on the Lou Caralla? Have you gotten the videos and seen all those?
I've seen the videos. I want the real deal workouts. I got some resistance bands. I want the real deal.
Yeah.
I'm trying to become an Iron Jacket for real.
Yeah, we can do that. We got you.
All right, Geoff, appreciate your time.
Life has changed, but some things remain the same. We all still get up every morning, and our cars still have cup holders. And our cup holders are still meant to hold cups. Large cups that hold our favorite morning beverages. Beverages that make our mornings a little brighter and a little more normal. Sonic's Morning Drink Stop. Large drinks for 99 cents and large specialty drinks for $1.49 before 10 a.m. For contactless ordering and payment, order ahead in the Sonic app. Tax not included. See menu for details. Mobile ordering available only at select locations for a limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
It sounds like Geoff Collins is allowing his guys to make their own decisions when it comes to going to the gym. And I think that's the right choice. I think that when you're dealing with adults, you got to allow them to make their own decisions, their own informed decisions. And that's all you can do. You can give them the information and they will do with it whatever they please. So that's my conversation with Geoff. Thank you so much to him for taking the time to speak with me. And hopefully we get some football soon. Hopefully we get sports back soon. I just saw ESPN is going to be broadcasting Korean baseball. I'm not so sure how I feel about that. I know I'm not going to be staying up to watch Korean baseball. That's just me personally, but I'm not judging you if you are going to be staying up to watch Korean baseball because I get it. But I'm not really, are we that thirsty for live sports? I don't know. I'm not quite there yet. I miss sports. I miss live sports, but Korean baseball? I don't know. So hopefully we get some sports back here soon. And once again, thank you for checking out the Look Alive podcasts, and we will be back. Thanks.
The Look Alive podcast is sponsored by Sonic.